because we've gotten some space from it now. And I think it's a good time to litigate the weirdest NBA championship of all time. So did the 2020 bubble title actually count or what?
All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you all having a good day so far. So I wanted to check out this video from Clayton Crowley. It's his newest video, and the title caught my eye. It's called "So Does the 2020 Bubble Championship Count or What?" And I know Clayton is quite a LeBron fan, so I'm assuming he's gonna make a case for, it being bigger than it was. But I'm curious. I'm going to give him a shot because Clayton has surprised me multiple times in the past. And regardless of whether I agree with him or not, I always find what Clayton says to be very insightful. And he definitely knows the game of basketball. That much I can say for damn sure. So as always, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description if you want to check out this video from Clayton, or if you want to check out his channel. I do highly recommend his channel. So if you haven't subscribed to Clayton, I do highly recommend that. But yeah, that'll be waiting for you down in the description. Everybody else, please leave this video a like. I don't want to do a long intro. I want to see what this is all about. So let's get right into it, okay?
On October 11th, 2020, the Los Angeles Lakers won the NBA title. We can all agree on that, right? It wasn't some kind of mass hysteria we fell victim to, or some fever dream that we collectively came up with so that we could live in a world where J.R. Smith is a two-time NBA champion. I ask because it's important we establish
I forgot he was part of that Lakers squad as well. Damn.
Common ground up front and figure out the facts. Because we've gotten some space from it now. And I think it's a good time to litigate the weirdest NBA championship of all time. So did the 2020 bubble title actually count or what?
I mean,
if you have
much.
a working internet connection, you know why that question has a little oomph to it. The 2020 finals spawned the phrase Mickey Mouse ring and all subsequent memes that have escaped the realm of sports and permeated their way into the broader internet culture. It's a reductionist insult, a disqualifier. It means that the thing in question was inauthentic, undeserved, rigged, fraudulent, or otherwise fake. The people who tell you that the 2020 championship doesn't count do so with some decent ammunition behind their claim. First, and most obviously, 2020 was a really weird year in general.
Yeah.
Because of the pandemic, and how the world basically shut down, and how the NBA...
Boy, can I just stop it right there and say, my God, I'm glad that's over. Wow, what a nightmare. What a nightmare that was.
NBA had to finish their season in a bubble, not letting anyone in or out, playing their games in Orlando at ESPN's facility in Disney World. That was weird.
Yeah, it
and
was.
Weird shit happened in the bubble.
Wow, I never got to look at it like this. They had 4 courts back to back to back to back. Okay, this is practice facility. Yeah, because there's no screens. Damn.
Announcers were calling games over Zoom. TJ Warren became better than Michael Jordan for a week. Dudes were shotgunning beers like they were college kids.
Yeah.
And Lou Williams left the bubble and went to a strip club in Atlanta. It was weird all around. Not to mention the election, BLM, the recession, and all of the other stuff going on in the world at large.
Yeah.
And as for the Lakers themselves, they had a relatively easy path to the title. After beating the Blazers in the first round, they faced the Rockets and playoff James Harden, which, enough said. A young Nuggets team who made the conference finals because the Clippers are the Clippers and blew a 3-1 lead, and the 5-seeded Heat in the finals. You wouldn't exactly call it a gauntlet in hindsight. So I do totally understand the argument against it. Have I mentioned how weird everything was? It was a championship won in the most atypical situation under circumstances that have no parallel. Who knows what would have happened in a regular NBA playoffs, right? But wait. I hear those clickety-clackety keyboards, those creamy, thwacky keystrokes from the Laker apologists already. Settle down, partner, because I hear you, and even worse, I kind of agree with you. Because the fact is that every other team in the bubble had the same chance as the Lakers. Everybody was on the same playing field. There was quite literally no advantage. Nobody had home court, nobody benefited from an expensive stadium or some luxurious locker room. There was no travel, no fans, and nothing else to do. Every team and player was in that bubble to do one thing: win a championship. For some, like the Heat and the Lakers, that was enough. For others, like the Clippers, it wasn't. And don't let old Lemon Pepper Lou fool you. There was no talk in the moment that this championship wouldn't count. The Clippers didn't lose because they were seeing the board from 10,000 feet and decided to pull some master move by not trying. They lost because they're losers. I have a ton of sympathy for the players who went stir crazy or felt uncomfortable in the bubble. They were away from their homes and many of them away from families for weeks and months on end. Sure, they're rich and sure they were in a resort, but I'm sure it still sucked.
Yeah, for me, it's a matter of, okay, we saw players shoot better than they ever have in their entire lives in this scenario because there was no crowd. And because there was no crowd, it changed the element for me that made people who would normally be choke artists into like gods on the floor. And I saw that happen the entire bubble. I gotta be honest. I like the Miami Heat. I like Jimmy Butler, but they had no business being in the finals. How did it happen? Because they just got hot for a while. Because there was so little pressure. So for me, that's why, like, yes, everybody was on the same playing field, so that was fair. But it's hard for me to take this bubble playoffs serious because, I mean, there was no audience, there's no crowd, no one's booing you, no one's cheering from you. You're just out there hooping. So it's almost just like glorified practices, like scrimmages.
However, it was as even a playing field as there has ever been in playoff history.
Yeah, no
and
home
we
court.
got really awesome games and performances that mattered. The teams who seemed to prioritize playoff and championship success and team culture were by and large the ones who had the most success.
Yeah.
Like the Lakers and the Heat.
And today's sponsor, Factor. Are you living under a rock? Do you not know about Factor by now? Factor delivers fresh, never...
Yeah, Factor's everywhere, man. Factor is everywhere. Wait for it. Long ad. All right, there's your promo code if you want to use it, everybody. I'll get right to the point. Okay, Clayton50.
Flow and use code Clayton50 to get 50% off. Clayton50 at Factor 75.
All right, here we go.
Say what you want about the Lakers before and since, but the 2020 Lakers were a juggernaut. LeBron was the runner-up for MVP, Anthony Davis was first-team everything and the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year, and role players like Kuzma, Alex Caruso, and KCP were huge contributors all year long. When the season stopped, the Lakers had a 49-14 record, a projected 63 win total, a really, really damn good team. They lost a few when they came back to the bubble, having wrapped up the 1 seed, and only finished with a .73 win percentage. Better than other recent champions, like the Raptors, Bucks, Nuggets, 18 and 22 Warriors.
Lakers definitely benefited that season from that time off before the bubble started. So they, health-wise, they definitely benefited from that.
And yeah, the Jimmy Butler Heat made the finals as a 5 seed. You've got me there.
Yeah.
What a fluke. Wait, what's that? Jimmy Butler took the Heat to the finals again 3 years later as the 8 seed? Huh, I guess it wasn't a fluke. Both teams showed up, we got some great games, and the better team ended up winning. You know, how most final series go? Because
Yeah, Jimmy Butler got to stop going to the finals because it's giving us the worst NBA finals that we've had in recent history over the last 4 years. Unless he's going to go out there and win, like, he's got to stop going to the damn championship, dude.
Because let's be real, this whole bubble title, Mickey Mouse ring shit is because it's LeBron and the Lakers, right? Like 80% of it is because LeBron won another ring, put himself...
Actually, I disagree. I think if it wasn't LeBron who won this championship, it would have been a lot more universal that that championship has an asterisk on it. I think it would have been a lot more accepted by everybody. But because there's so many LeBron James fans out there, that label of, yeah, you know what, that one was it was what it was, but let's move on to another season kind of mentality. It doesn't play because they really want, this is like really big for them. that LeBron James won a championship in the bubble. But yeah, I think if for instance, if the Miami Heat would have won a championship instead of the Lakers, I think everybody unanimously would be saying, yeah, but that Miami Heat team would have never won the championship if it wasn't for the bubble. And I think nobody would argue with it.
Even further up the ladder and even further established himself next to Jordan, right? And because it was the Lakers, who are really fun to hate and shit on. And this was the perfect opportunity to poke holes in the achievement and downplay it. Like, if the Heat had won, you Mickey Mouse dorks would have never shut up about how the Lakers choked and Miami was just so mentally tough. And sure, LeBron...
I agree with with Clayton, that one. Like, I said it before, just a minute ago. I completely think the opposite. I think we would have credited the hell out of Miami if they would have won that one.
Hasn't done himself any favors by filleting himself, talking about how he's the GOAT because this was one of the 2 most difficult championships ever. It only further incentivizes the people that already don't like him to discredit the ring and act like it doesn't count. Those dorks are wrong. The bubble title counts. But how much does it count? It's a good question, because not every championship is created equal. Yes, they're all important, and they all matter, but some of them matter more than others. Some of them carry a certain amount of weight to them. So how much does this one weigh? We've already established what someone who doesn't like LeBron would say. Someone from Boston or Chicago or any other team in the East who is good in the last 20 years. They'll tell you it doesn't weigh jack shit. And if you ask one of those sickos with a Stan account who defend him like it's their job and act like they're a PR firm, they'll tell you that it definitively made him the GOAT and that it was the most difficult thing an athlete has ever done. But you're asking me? You want to know what I think? Well, thank you, you little scamp.
That's what we're here
I think
for.
on the spectrum of how much you like LeBron, I come down on the side that likes LeBron. Not as much as LeBron does, mind you, but I think it's another major accomplishment on the resume of perhaps the greatest player of all.
What the hell? Look how open he is, man. What the hell is this? What is this garbage?
But I think it's another major accomplishment on the resume of perhaps the greatest player of all time. It's not leading the resume, though. I don't have a list of the heaviest, most weighty championships ever, but if I did, this one would be in the top, 75th percentile. It's not 84 or 98, it's certainly no 2016. And of all the championships that have ever been won, this is the championship that deserves an asterisk. Not because it was easy, and not to
Agreed.
say that it doesn't count, but because the bubble was just so different from anything else that happened before.
Yeah, no home court, no crowd. No count. That's where I come from. I wish they would have just not done it. I wish they would have just continued, because nobody watched this anyways. It had the lowest ratings ever. Hell, The Last Dance was pulling in way higher numbers than the NBA Finals did in the bubble. Nobody cared about this one. Nobody took it serious. And that's why I think that we put an asterisk on it, or we want to at least, because nobody took it serious. It just was what it was. It was just some entertainment at that point. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I'm curious what you guys are going to say in the comments, to tell you the truth.
And isn't that what an asterisk is supposed to signify? That this one is different? When the finals was over, more than anything, it felt like a sigh of relief that the NBA had a champion and everyone got to go home.
Yeah.
There were no fans. There was no parade. There wasn't that big feeling of catharsis that makes a championship resonate and matter and stick in our heads. That's one of the biggest reasons that sports succeed and are interesting. We get wrapped up in the stories and the mythology and the action and the strategy, but without the people there to feel it and celebrate it, a little bit of the stuff that makes it special gets lost.
Yeah.
Yes, the 2020 championship counted. Yes, it added to the greatness of LeBron and AD and all the other Lakers, including and especially J.R. Smith. It is a meaningful accomplishment that does and will stand the test of time. We can put all those arguments to bed. But it can't be overstated or forgotten that championship was also pretty damn weird.
Yeah, it was. Oh man. Thanks for watching with me, you guys. I really do want to know what your comments are about this. The bubble championship is not something I've talked about very much. Just because like it kind of came and went and I forgot about it, and it had like it was more political than it was a sport at that point. And it was almost, I don't even know what to say about it. Like it happened in such a crazy time in our life that even though we were like starving for entertainment to distract us from the chaos going on in the world, you know, and the fear that we were all experiencing at that time, like it just didn't mean anything to any of us. And like, I'm talking like me and a lot of the biggest basketball fans I know, we were so disengaged from it. What were we talking about all week? Like we were talking about like The Last Dance and crap like that. We didn't care about the bubble. We would watch it a little bit, but the whole time, like I remember all of us were just saying like, dude, everyone is just shooting lights out. You know, it was nothing special because it was basically like, you know, like how we see Ben Simmons hitting jumper after jumper in the gym when he's training. But then in a real game, when there's pressure and there's fans and there's a crowd, he can't hit anything. He can't shoot whatsoever. That's why it doesn't have the same meaning to me. Because a guy like Ben Simmons in a bubble can be a lights out shooter. But in the real NBA, when you got a crowd and you got pressure, the guy chokes. So, and you know how I feel about LeBron when it comes to choking. And I think that really benefited LeBron was not having that crowd there, not having that fear. He was disconnected from the entire world, and he didn't have to worry about the pressure of it all. And you know, it really benefited him and his team because of it. But yeah, anyways, I'll leave it at that. Even though I do disagree with Clayton from time to time, I absolutely love his content. I love his channel. I think he's one of the better basketball minds doing YouTube. And I saw he's recently been working with the NBA channel, the YouTube channel recently, doing breakdowns. And I thought that's pretty cool. So congratulations on that, Clayton. Like I said, we can disagree from time to time, but that doesn't mean, you know, I don't have to hate a person because I disagree with them. Now, if he was trying to like hammer down his view into me, like shove it down my throat saying, this is the way, and if you disagree with me, like you're stupid, those kind of people I have a problem with, because that's what sports is. Sports, we're supposed to debate. We're supposed to, you know, that's why I'm curious about your guys' comments, because whatever you say, your view is going to be at least slightly different than mine, and my view is slightly different than yours, which is slightly different than Clayton's, and that's what makes this all fun in my mind. If we all agree on everything, then I start to question what's really going on, because I think we're all being fed something without realizing it. You know what I mean? We're being like drip fed some information that we probably no one even really believes in. We're just all caught up in an echo chamber without realizing it. Anyways, I'm out of here, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And if you haven't left the video a like yet, please do. It helps out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this, and I'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody.